What's up, fish tank people? FishTankTV.com, Dustin's Fish Tanks, bringing it to you on a Sunday, baby. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. Look, I've killed fish, you've killed fish, we've all killed fish, but these are my top 10 fastest ways to kill your aquarium fish. My number 10 in my top 10 fastest ways to kill your fish quickly: avoiding the nitrogen cycle and not letting the beneficial bacteria build up. You gotta let it build up, folks. People try to rush their tanks. They get too many fish too quickly in their aquarium. Everyone's acting like a 14-year-old boy on a date. Go slow, take your time. Ask me about my first 5-gallon aquarium, which had both black and hot neon 80s pink gravel in it, along with a no fishing sign, where I added 5 goldfish to it too quickly. I immediately killed 3 of them. Going too quick, take your time. Let the nitrogen cycle work for you, folks. My number 10 fastest way to kill your fish. My number 9 fastest way to kill your aquarium fish quickly: using pink gravel. All right, folks, now pay attention. Now we're getting to the tricky part. The tricky part is getting rid of the pink gravel. Now, pink gravel has been known to cause both birth defects and cancer in young children, so you want to be real careful with this pink gravel. Remember, friends don't let friends use pink gravel. So we're going to take your mom's dustpan. We're going to make sure she's not around. We're going to use a crappy dustpan if we got it, and we're going to scoop the gravel out of the bottom of this bad boy here. My number 8 fastest way to kill your fish quickly: you buy a fish that doesn't go with all of your other fish. Check out my pissed off fish video. You buy a fish called a green terror and I don't know, Dustin, what happened? Why did it kill all my fish? You buy a fish called a red devil and you wonder what happens when it kills all of your other fish in your aquarium. Ask me about the time my buddy Jolly and I've encouraged him to do it. He bought a 1-foot-long red-tail catfish and dropped that sucker in a 75-gallon at night. By sunrise, it had eaten half of his beautiful cichlids, including a breeding pair of Maniganti, and it puked everything up. Number 8, buying fish that will kill all your other fish. My number 7 fastest way to kill your fish: buying fish that do not match the current water parameters of your aquariums. I love rummy nose tetras. I love tetras. I love schooling tetras. I love red fish. However, I am not keeping rummy nose tetras in this aquarium. Why? Because rummy nose tetras like a lower pH and they like warmer water. I run cooler tanks. I run a slightly higher pH of around 7.5 or so. So rummy nose do not fit the water that I have. This is an important thing. So do not buy fish that do not match the water that you have. This is a true story. I swear to God, I cannot make this up. When I was working up at the RMS Aquaculture up in Cleveland, Ohio, a guy bought a $1,200 spotted shark. The next day, he brought that spotted shark into the pet store dead. I sat there and watched the manager ask him the question, "Sir, what is the salinity of your aquarium?" And he replied, "What's salinity?" My number 7, know the water the fish are bringing in so you don't kill them right away. My number 6 fastest way to kill your fish quickly: you're doing everything right. This story goes back to when I lived in Boca Raton, Florida, and you decide it's a beautiful sunny day down at Boca and you're going to clean the heck out of your aquarium. So what did I do? I took all 6 of the filter pads out of my 125 and cleaned them in chlorinated water. Then I did about a 60% water change. I power cleaned my aquarium, and guess what happened? I killed about half of the school of bleeding heart tetras that I had because I over cleaned my aquarium. Folks, be careful when you're doing water changes over anything like 40%. That's where you get in the caution zone. Do not over clean your aquarium. Go a little bit. We want a little bit of changes. My number 6 way to kill your fish quickly: doing too much. Clean it too much. My number 5 fastest way to kill your fish quickly: not using dechlor or not using enough dechlor. This goes to 2 stories. Story 1, when I was a kid, I lived in Findlay, Ohio. Flag City, baby, had some fantastic water. I actually thought that using dechlor was just a waste of money, and it was a myth. I moved away from there, and I realized that chlorine is real. Once back in my old office, I killed 4 Australian rainbows by not having dechlor on hand when I was doing a water change. And the other time, I actually had dechlor in hand, and I was doing a big water change on the 220 right behind me here. But my wonderful city here in Fayette County had too much chlorine in the water. I could actually smell it. I didn't add enough dechlorinator to my tank, and the chlorine levels were still too high and killed about 200 neon tetras and a couple of pink ancestress plecos that I love dearly. Number 5. Not using enough dechlor or not using dechlor at all will kill your fish quickly. My number 4 fastest way to kill your fish quickly. I learned this from the Grand Masters of Fish Keeping out in St. Louis, Mr. Steve Eady. Click the links around here, check out his fish room, a bunch of cichlids in it. The fastest way to kill your fish quickly is this. If for some reason your filter gets unplugged or you have a power outage of some kind, and let's say your filter is off for more than an hour or so, your once beneficial, doing you good bacteria now starts to die. That bacteria starts to die, becomes ammonia because there's no water flowing through it. Then when you plug your filter back in, you're going to pump in all that now ammonia water back into your aquarium, which could potentially kill your fish quickly. My number 4 tip, if your filter's been unplugged for more than an hour, dump it out, start with new water, don't pump that ammonia water back into your tank. My number 3 fastest way to kill your fish quickly. You've got your tank, you love your tank, you're paying attention to your tank, and you're like, bro, let's feed the tank, bro. And what happens? You're like, bro, I eat 3 times a day, bro. Let's feed the fish, bro. Let's feed them 3 times a day. And then what happens? You power feed your fish a ton, your fish eat a ton, your fish poop a ton, and then what happens? Your fish have a ton of ammonia. That ammonia spikes, your fish get sick, or you potentially kill your fish. Number 3, don't feed your fish too much, folks. Feed lightly, only a little bit. And if you are gonna feed heavy, do the work, do the water changes. My number 2 fastest way to kill your fish quickly. This goes back to number 3. You power feed your fish all the time, but you never do any kind of water changes. You know who you are. You don't do any water changes, the ammonia builds up. All of a sudden, one of your fish is dead, your kid's pissed off, your wife's pissed off, your life's pissed off, all because you didn't do the work and do a little bit of a water change. Look, do 25% water changes once a week. If you got the time and energy, do a little bit more. Water changes, folks, they make your life easier. My number 2 fastest way to kill your fish, not doing the work with the water change. Number 1 fastest way to kill your fish quickly is this, and it is a sad one, folks. You've got your tank dialed in. You're balanced, it's balanced, you're feeding just the right amount of food, you're doing just the right amount of water changes, you might even be having babies, you might be propagating plants. Everything is going wonderful for you in your aquarium. So what do? You listen to the old lady, hey, we need to take the kids on a vacation. So you plan a family trip in the family truckster. And what do? It's your fault, it's your problem. You leave your aquarium home in the hands of someone you think you can trust with your fish. What happens? You fail to measure out the appropriate amounts of food to put in the tank each day. You fail to show them how frequently to put in these set amount of foods. You fail to show them how to do a water changes, or most importantly, you fail to realize you could probably leave your fish alone for a week and they will be just freaking fine. Over a week, it's a little bit of trouble. So it is your fault ultimately when you go out of town and you leave your aquarium in the hands of someone else who happens to do something that kills your fish. Too much food, crazy water change, whatever. Yes, folks, the fastest way to kill your fish quickly is to leave them in the untrained hands of someone other than yourself. I've seen it happen a bunch of times. Do me a favor, folks, drop me a comment on the fastest way either you've killed fish or you know the fastest way somebody's killed fish. Come on, it's a pity party. Pile it on. We all want to talk about it. Also, click the links around here. You can check out other videos on this individual topics. I break them down for you. If you like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button or hit the notification little ding ding. I've been going live periodically on this wonderful platform, as well as a ton on Instagram at Dustin's Fish Tanks on Instagram. Everybody have a fabulous freaking week and tank on. Later.
Gravel out of the bottom of this bad boy here. Remember, be careful. You don't want to be touching the pink gravel. And we're just going to take this gravel. We're going to scoop it out as best we can. Be careful. If you got to wear sunglasses because the pink gravel's hurting your eyes, feel free to do so. We're just going to scoop all the pink gravel out right here. If you want to do this in darkness so your friends don't see you scooping pink gravel, that's fine. Alright folks, so now we got the pink gravel out, we got the pink gravel secured. We've got to wear our sunglasses. We want to make sure we keep our eyes protected while we're doing this pink gravel. Now here's what I recommend you do. If you got pink gravel and you're trying to throw it away, don't do it during the daytime. Do it at nighttime. You want to make sure none of your neighbors, friends, relatives, anybody sees you putting that pink gravel in trash. You want to do that on the DL, okay? So now we got our tank set up right here. We got a full-blown empty. We got our pink gravel thrown away. Pink gravel's gone. It's out of your life. Your wife's happy, your life's happy. Now here comes the critical part. Here comes the scary part. For all you mothers out there, I know what you're saying to yourself. You're saying, I'm not letting my fat freckled fish tank freak kid bring that dirt into the house. Let me tell you something. Guess what happens if you don't let your fat freckle fish tank freak kid bring that dirt in the house? Nothing's gonna happen right away. Then all of a sudden, 44 years later, he's gonna be hanging out on Miami Beach. He's gonna grab a sex worker. They're gonna go back to a hotel room. They're gonna start making out. She's gonna start biting his lip. He's gonna have to punch that broad to get him off him. Then he's gonna end up on local news, and your kid's gonna be in the local newspaper. You don't want that. I don't want that. Let the kid bring the dirt in the house. Okay.